Right. Firstly, you need to whisk together 200 grams of caster sugar and 125 grams of unsalted butter until it's light and fluffy. It should start. It should look like something like this. Once you've whisked it, then take one large egg and beat it in a jug beforehand, and then you'll then add it to the mix. Make sure the egg is well beaten before you add it into the mix. And then pour it in to the buttercream, like the sugar and the butter. Pour it in and then stir it. Make sure it's all stirred in. And then you should end up with a thin, smooth and once it's all mixed in, you should end up with some smooth, like batter sort of thing. And then you'll need 350 grams of plain flour. You sieve that in with a teaspoon of baking bicarbonate of soda and a pinch of salt. And once that's all sieved in together, you then fold it into the mix and should end up with something that looks like this. Just before doing this, you need to take 225 ml of milk and a tablespoon of lemon juice and mix it together and leave it to set for about 5 minutes. So you can pour this into the mix, and then once you whisk that all together, you'll end up with a nice smooth paste sort of thing. The word's just gone. Yeah, it should look like this once it's done. Be nice and smooth, and then take 3 to 6 individual bowls and divide it so that you have enough for each colour, food colouring that you want. Today I tried purple but it didn't really work, so I did red instead, and I did blue and yellow as well. So you just need to pour it in like so. And make sure the food colouring is all mixed in. Obviously if it turns out too pale, just add in more. And yeah. And then this one I did blue. Obviously once again, just make sure you've got enough to fill the whole. I just added a tiny bit more just so it could come out and you could see which colour it was. And the yellow one, this was quite easy because I didn't need to add any more colour, so that was just enough, and it was really bright as well, so it's quite good. It's quite a nice colour to have for food baking. Here's all my 3 individual colours. I got pink there instead, blue and yellow. And once you've got that all, you just then put it into a well greased tin, just so that it doesn't stick while it's baking. Make sure you've got pairs, because it will make 24 halves, which will make 12 cakes. So you just like put it in, and yeah, once you're done, You then stick that into the oven, preheat it at gas mark 4, and then you'll leave the cakes to bake for about 10 to 15 minutes. They should look like this, and going into your oven at gas mark 4, 10 to 15 minutes they should bake for. Then do the other colour, once again into a well greased tin so that it doesn't stick, and in pairs again so they can go together. And add some other colours, but then you place them into the oven onto the other one, but make sure they go into the same amount of time. So where they're on the other shelf they won't get cooked as much, so still just make sure they're in there for that time. Icing, you need 350 grams of icing sugar and 175 grams of slightly salted butter. You mix that together and make your buttercream for you. And once you've baked them and you've left them to cool, then spread that over the cakes, and like for the middle, the filling. Then place one on top and you have a cake, and then just tidy around the edges, and that's what your whoopie pies will look like. Repeat this for each one, obviously, and then you'll end up with something that looks like this. And yeah, and you've got some of the others here. They turned out, and right here we have my cake testers. Yeah, and they all said it was good and it tasted nice. That was my cake there. Please subscribe. Thank you for watching.